A city usually stands on a strong foundation of stone, soil, and concrete. But what if you were told that one of Europe's most attractive and breathtaking cities, Venice, has stood for hundreds of years on nothing but thousands of wooden piles? It may sound unbelievable. While most cities in the world are built on solid ground, Venice is supported by thousands of wooden pillars hidden beneath the water. It is, quite literally, a floating city. Venice is not only famous for its unique beauty and rich history, it is also a remarkable living example of ancient engineering. The city was born from the courageous struggle of people trying to survive under extremely difficult circumstances. The story begins around 1,500 years ago, in 452 AD, when the mighty Roman Empire was nearing its collapse. At that time, the Huns, a nomadic warrior people from northern Europe, launched devastating attacks across northern Italy. They burned prosperous cities one after another. To escape the invaders and find safety, local residents fled to the small islands scattered along the Adriatic coast. However, these islands were extremely hostile environments, surrounded by water and resting on deep mud. They were hardly suitable even for standing, let alone living. Building a city in such a harsh and inaccessible place seemed impossible. Yet humanity's determination to survive and overcome challenges led to the creation of what is now Venice. To construct the city, engineers first gathered large quantities of timber from the vast forests of present-day Croatia. These wooden piles were then driven deep into the muddy ground until they reached more stable layers beneath. Each pile was inserted approximately 5 meters into the mud. By placing thousands of these piles closely together, water was displaced from the surrounding mud, creating a strong and stable foundation on which the city could be built. At this point, you might wonder, why didn't the wood rot underwater? Surprisingly, because the piles remained completely submerged, they were deprived of oxygen. Without oxygen, the microorganisms responsible for decay could not survive, allowing the wood to remain preserved. Large wooden platforms were placed on top of the piles, followed by layers of stone, forming the famous foundations of Venice. The Venetians understood that constructing heavy buildings on water carried significant risks of collapse. To reduce those risks, they built structures using lightweight yet durable materials. Instead of modern cement, they used a special lime mortar mixture that could withstand minor shifts in the ground without cracking or collapsing. For safety reasons, buildings were generally limited to 3 stories in height. This construction method proved successful, and settlements gradually spread across neighboring islands. In the early days, Venice had no paved roads or bridges. Boats were the only means of transportation. For centuries, people traveled throughout the city by boat. However, as the population continued to grow, a bridge became necessary to connect the important commercial center of Rialto Island with surrounding areas. A reward was even offered for the best bridge design. The result was the construction of the city's first wooden pontoon bridge. Unfortunately, a powerful storm eventually destroyed it. But the Venetians were not easily discouraged. They rebuilt the bridge using 10,000 wooden piles and 12,000 blocks of stone, creating a stronger and more durable structure that still stands proudly in the heart of Venice today. After solving the bridge problem, the city faced another major challenge: the shortage of fresh drinking water. Surrounded by salt water, Venice had no natural rivers or springs. Initially, water had to be transported by boat from the mainland, a difficult and expensive process. To solve this problem, engineers developed an ingenious system. Large reservoirs were constructed throughout the city. The walls of these reservoirs were lined with clay to prevent water from leaking away. Layers of sand and stone were then added above them. Rainwater flowing from rooftops was directed into these reservoirs. As the rainwater passed naturally through the layers of sand and stone, it became filtered and purified. Residents could then draw clean drinking water from wells connected to the system. Across the city, nearly 600 wells were built, representing an extraordinary and forward-thinking technological achievement for that era. Yet one major challenge still remained: waste management. Initially, residents simply threw household waste directly into the canals behind their homes, causing the city to become increasingly unsanitary. However, during the 16th century, Venetian engineers once again demonstrated remarkable innovation. They constructed narrow tunnels and drainage systems beneath houses throughout the city where waste could collect. Every day, during high tide, seawater naturally flowed into these tunnels and carried the accumulated waste out into the sea. This ingenious system required no mechanical pumps or modern machinery. Nature itself cleaned the city daily, helping keep it sanitary and free from foul odors. Thanks to this unique approach, Venice gradually became one of Europe's most prosperous and attractive cities. Even after all these centuries, Venice's ancient wooden foundations and engineering achievements remain astonishingly intact. Every historic building, bridge, and winding canal stands as a living testament to the intelligence, craftsmanship, and determination of people who overcame extraordinary challenges. Modern technology and advanced science may allow us to achieve incredible things today, yet Venice continues to remind us of an ancient truth. There is no technology greater than human ingenuity, and no teacher greater than adversity. Let us know in the comments what you thought of today's documentary. Thank you for watching and being with us.